Experience tranquility. Pass into the iris.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Iris Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Yeti. Joining me tonight, we have Thuggington, Thor, NPC, and Beth Con. Welcome, everybody. We are going to dive right in. We are halfway now through stage one, and there's been a lot of excitement going on for sure. Lots of interesting matchups this past week. We saw a few upsets, a few shifts moving around in the Iris top 8, which is coming at you right now. Let's see how those upsets impacted that. Start off in the Harmony tier, everybody. We got the Sky Guardians now making their appearance in at 8th. We got Vanguard sitting in 7th. We have Chrysalis sitting at 6th. Looking at 5th place, we have the Jetpack Cats. And in 4th, we have the Miami Yikes. In 3rd, we are looking at the Palm Beach Poggers. In 2nd place, falling from 1st, the Flashbacks. And last but not least, number 1 from the Marsupial Org and last season's champs, the Koala Kings. Thug, your thoughts?
There were some surprises, right at the top of there. I have no problem with how that all shook out. When you have, I think we're going to see Koala Kings and Flashbacks kind of flip back and forth. And looking at it, there's a big... Flashbacks, essentially, without some shenanigans, they're still a really, really great team that'll always be up there, regardless of... They're probably going to be one of those one-loss teams that pushes through. It's like college football playoffs. It's like, yeah, you have the pedigree, you have the talent, you can push through with one loss, and you'll be in consideration. There's a couple teams I feel like are missing off of this. You look at somebody like a Jersey Boys. Jersey Boys are always going to be somebody that kind of middles. They've had a really rough start to the season schedule wise. They've had some tough matches.
They've done well. They're 2-1, which is crazy
right.
Considering how tough their schedule was early on.
Right, and thinking about it too, they did a lot with it, and I don't anticipate them losing any more matches this stage and really have a strong showing. Also, Big Bang Buccaneers. Anybody?
No, we shouldn't be in top 8. No.
Bueller.
No. Even all the Big Bang Buccaneers would laugh at that take. So,
well, here's the thing: you can laugh at it because you're like, no, don't actually look at us. We're just over here. We're a meme team that's actually 2-1 with a +3 map differential here. I think that's a team that could be in there. Maybe a team like... I look at a team like Chrysalis, and I think they're too high. They've had a lot of, I don't want to say luck, but luck getting into it. So we'll see how things shake out going forward here, but we'll see what happens. I think it looks strong. Top half of it looks really, really great. The bottom half is going to be kind of a crapshoot as we go into the end of stage 1.
Yeah, definitely interesting situation, or definitely interesting matches coming up for sure. Looking at Palm Beach Poggers versus Jetpack Cats, that's going to be a big one. 2 of the top teams going at it. I can't wait to see that one myself. Let's go ahead now to the Discord tier. Discord tier looks real good, real interesting here. Number 8 making their debut in the list, we have Paradise Lost. Number 7, we have Excalibur after their big win on Thursday. 6 is the SEAL Team Spuds. In 5th, we have Echo Fleet. And in 4th place, we have Mark III. Sitting at 3rd in your rankings is Lotus. And in 2nd right now, you have Reminiscence coming off their big loss here this past week to the number 1 ranked team in the power rankings this week, Kawaka Queens. All right. Definitely a little bit of shuffling here, and we have a new King of the Mountain in Discord tier. Beth, what do you have to say? Or I should say Queen.
Yes, you should.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly am not too surprised by these power rankings. Do I think Reminiscence is still a really good team that deserves to be close to the top in spite of that loss? I do. I think Quokka Queens and Reminiscence are the 2 strongest teams in the tier right now and deserve that number 1, number 2 ranking. Honestly, for the most part, this was kind of chalk, right? It's the top 2 teams from every single part of every single group stage, except for one exception, and that is Paradise Lost beating out Reckless Sigma, which I thought was very interesting. And do I think that Paradise Lost deserves to be in over Reckless Sigma? Yeah, I do. So Sigma's only real challenge has been kind of in a weaker group and has been against SEAL Team Spuds, and they lost 3-1 at that point. Paradise lost, played a really close 3-2 against Mark 3, who is a really strong
Yeah,
team.
Mark II is their predecessor.
Yes.
Yes.
It's Mark. It's the third Mark.
Yes, the third Mark.
Yeti's quick with him tonight.
Yeah. Gotta go in.
They beat Alt F4, they beat Ragnarok Freya, and they're looking really strong this season. Time will tell if they'll be able to hold on to that top 8 spot, but I think they deserve to be there for this week.
True, it's true. Yeah, Mark IV is going to be a hell of a team when they show up too. But anyways, thanks. Exuberance stole the joke before I could get it out the door. I'll give him some credit on that one. Great matchups coming up in Discord tier for Paradise Lost is kind of in that really very good group. And I honestly, the one group that surprised me and I'm not seeing a little bit more love towards is the group that has the Quokka Queens and the and Reminiscence, because that group is kind of the group of death in Discord tier. You got teams that are just beating the hell out of each other on a consistent basis. You take a look at it; it's actually kind of crazy how the quality of teams in that group. Not only do you have Reminiscence, not only do you have SEAL Team Spuds, you also have Mechanized, you also have Flying License, you also have Inferno Foxes, fantastic orgs, all three of them, and Maelstrom as well. Maelstrom making the move up to Discord tier, entered right into the group of death, it seems. Damn.
Damn.
Yeah, that's unfortunate if you're a Maelstrom fan, but they're holding their own. They're doing what they can, and that's all you can ask. So good stuff there with the Discord rankings. And let's go to the Transcendence tier now. Transcendence tier is as follows. In 8th, you have, making their debut, the Platlaws. In 7th, you have the SS Cuttlefish. In 6th, falling down, is Celestial Wind. In 5th, you have the Decapitators. In 4th is GDH Godhand. In 3rd, making their top 8 debut, and in 3rd as well, as the Devil Dukes. In 2nd place is Dirt. And last but not least, at the top of the standings, yet again, same new story, same, well, I guess it's a new book, new chapter, same story. Alpha at the top of the rankings. NPC, your takes.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. You can't argue with that. I mean, I like Dirt, Decapitators, got to represent that. It all looks really good. There's a whole lot going on there in Trans tier. I mean, Alpha again pulling off this perfect stage. They're plus 12 right now. Might actually happen. But I'm interested to see what happens in the rest of their pool. So Indigo Pool B, they're sitting at the top, but everybody else is like 2-1 and 0-3. So there's that pool is an interesting pool because some of the other ones have some 0-3 teams and 3-0 teams, right? But this one's the only one where there's everybody else is kind of neck and neck. You got Decapitators, you got Bird Society, Ibis, definitely not a slouch team. NYAA, also not a slouch team. Cobalt and Skybox have yet to really step up here, but Cobalt got a map, so they're doing okay at -10. But we'll see how that shakes out. But I'd like to see NYAA. They're going to get close. They're going to get close to this.
Yeah, there's some really good teams in that group. I have to say, I was actually really surprised with the quality that we have seen from that group. Trans tier is so interesting to me because if you looked at it going into the season, a lot of people kind of had like 2 or 3 teams pegged. A lot of people was looking at obviously GDH, Decapitators had a really good roster coming in. There's a lot of talent there without question. A lot of people also looked at Alpha. Again, Alpha, a great team from the prior season. But we see all these teams like Celestial Wind, obviously, with a huge upset. The Platlaws coming in now out of nowhere, big win over Celestial Wind. They're not alone. There's a lot of good-looking teams out there. Trans tier is more interesting, I think, than people realize. I think there's been a lot of people saying like, there's just no way, like there's gonna be like 3 teams and run away with it. I think there's a lot more teams that could, on any given Wednesday, pull off a big upset. So, really quick, before we get to the last thing regarding Iris Top 8, I just want to quickly mention a couple shout outs real quick. First off, to the whole community. Tonight we hit 3,000 members on our Discord. That is actually kind of crazy.
That's nuts.
That's kind of crazy to hit 3,000 people in our Discord, y'all. So, Thank you so much for all that. We definitely appreciate it. And I have to also quickly give a shout out as well. If you saw it earlier today, it deserves to be mentioned. Competing in North American Contenders, we had not one, but two former members of the Tranquility community. Obviously, Rocket, Tranquility Hall of Famer, you all know very well, but recently kind of coming out of the woodwork through T3, now in T2, touching it for the first time, Yamitra, also known as Travis. Big shout out to them as well. Congratulations on your Contenders run. And guys, tune in, give those guys some support, give those guys some love. We got 3,000 people in the Discord. We should probably give them 3,000 viewers for the next matches. That's logical. That's just math.
Math checks out.
It's just math. It's literally math.
That's literally just math. So let's get back to the top 8 real quick, guys. Top 8. So one thing, obviously, a lot of teams, who we don't have. A lot of teams not in this top 8. Is there any team from outside of the top 8 in any of them or in any of the tiers that you would expect to be seeing in the rankings later this season, Thor?
So I could definitely pull the bias card here for a couple of the Ragnarok teams, but I'm going to forego that right now. I'm going to step above, and I'm actually going to piggyback a little bit on what NPC was talking about, and I'm just going to throw some love over to my boys over at Not Your Average Academy, or NYA, or NYAA, or one of the 17 other things that they're called. Can somebody in chat please actually verify what you should be referred to as, so we don't have to keep fighting about it on the podcast? It'd be very much appreciated.
I like the infighting. It makes it interesting.
Who doesn't, right? But the reason I picked them is because I know that they went through pretty much an entire roster overhaul over the offseason. They ended up losing their carry from last season, Canlisis. A dude climbed all the way to 4.2K or something ungodly like that. He should be on an open team. I don't know if he is or not, but I do know that he's assisting Not Your Average Academy in a coaching capacity. And then Drowsy's playing sometimes, but pretty much everybody else on that roster is brand freaking new. But they do have a really good system. They got a good organization. They got good structure. They got good coaching. They do have they're on a little bit of a roll now because they stomped a couple of the lower tier teams in Transcendence tier. No offense to those teams. But they do have a big test coming up this week going up against Alpha, obviously. So as long as they can I think realistically, if they can get a map or two off of Alpha, they can feel really good about that. Maybe even pull out the victory. But this will be a good test to see how far they've come between weeks 1 and weeks 4.
NYA is kind of an interesting one. NYA, I'm not really sure how to say it. For those asking, if you didn't see on Twitter, first off, aren't you following me on Twitter? Second of all, it's pickle soda this week, y'all. It tastes like dill, and that's weird. Tastes like dill and sugar.
It's kind of a big deal.
It's
Sweet pickles?
You're weird.
I would call it sweet pickles, except it's not. It's like somebody took shitty pickle juice and carbonated it. So it's actually not that bad.
Have you heard of the bullshit in the South with the grape Kool-Aid pickles?
I would try that. I don't see a problem.
No, it's a thing.
Kool-Aid pickles. It's a real, and it's cherry Kool-Aid.
It's awful. It sounds terrible. And if you like it, you have a bad opinion, and you should have your decision-making privilges revoked.
I mean,
so
I like
sheltered living in the
everything
Northeast.
Pickle, but
honestly, not that bad.
even
Not that
question
bad. I'd give it a 4 out of 10. It's not bad. I'll drink it because that's the gimmick, but that's about it. I'm not gonna go out and seek out pickle soda ever again. By the way, I'll say his name once. I gotta give the shout out real quick. The reason why pickle soda, I got to shout out a person here on the pickle soda because they were really adamant about it, and fantastic DPS player. I have to give a quick shout out. One of my favorite DPS player, especially in the Discord. It's Nagi. Nagi loves pickles. Thank you so much, Nagi, for pushing the pickle soda for sure. But then I also have to go to definitely, it's. Yeah, that's the best DPS right there for sure, no question about it. I mean, I'm glad we agree. I'm glad we agree on that. But honestly, if I'm looking at it seriously, my huge shout out goes to the best DPS on Sky Guardians. You know who he is. He's O. Thank you, O, for the pickle soda. Appreciate it. Anyways, let's move on then.
Yeah. Burn Blue, Dallas Fuel fan. Love seeing those Dallas Fuel skins.
So
that's why you watch Sky Guardians games.
Yeah, let's do that for Milo. Let's go ahead to the next segment here, y'all. Enough me stalling about pickle soda. All All right. The next thing we have for you guys today, we have the weekly montage for your week 3 highlights. This one was put together by Nagi. Let's go ahead, Nagi, and pass this one along to you here. Now, why is my montage not working? By the way, if you didn't know, my computer lost all my files today, so that's great. Is this working?
Rest in peace. So it'll work eventually.
Welcome once again to Overwatch Tranquility.
I've got you in my sights.
This is going to hurt.
Get wrecked. Wonderful.
I told you to stop resisting.
Hammer down! So predictable.
Justice reigns from above.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much, Nagi, for that fantastic montage. Let's hop right into our next segment, guys. You know what? We talk a lot about how stage one, you know what? You can have a bad stage one. You can come back at stage two, start making an impact there, make a run there, and, get into the playoffs either way. And you never know what can happen once you have a chip, cherry, and a chance. Anything can happen in the playoffs. But here's the thing, what it comes down to is at a certain point, you just hit that one moment in time. And at that moment in time, you know what time it is? It's crunch time, y'all. It's crunch time. So everybody get your crunchy snacks out. Get your cheese and grooves out right now. They are actually really good. The meme aside.
I'm going to win a trip to the grand finals in 2020.
It's true.
How's that box pasta, Beth?
Yeah. How's that?
I may have forgotten to buy a crunchy snack.
Beth committing to the gift.
Let's just
Fry pasta.
Beth,
I got a bag of
pasta.
onions, but I'm not taking a bite of raw onion on stream. I'm not doing it.
Beth coming in hard with the pasta and shipping her
Wait
teeth.
a minute. Biting a raw onion on stream would be a great incentive for a charity drive.
It would be, but we'll talk about that more in a little bit here, Thor.
Yeah,
Just
keep that in
saying.
the back of your mind.
Yeah, if there's something to think about there now that you've talked about it. See, chat wants it. Guys, if you want to see Thor take a bite out of the onion, you got to let him know in chat right now, because if he didn't hear it in chat, how is he going to know that you want him to take a bite of the onion? Anyways, I
For the kids.
Hold on.
For the kids.
What? One quick second here. I actually need to just check something real quick here. I just got a quick phone call.
Oh. That's a sick phone case.
Oh,
Look at that
this
thing.
thing right here.
Whoa.
Oh, this right here. I mean, I gotta say, where can you get? I don't even know where you can get one of these, but NPC, maybe you know where we can get one of these.
Oh, you get a phone case like that one at shop.spreadshirt.com/OW Tranquility. You get phone cases, stickers, shirts, anything you want. And right now, I tell you what, I've been giving you guys 20% off, which is great for those big orders, okay? But the best deal of all, if you're just going to get one thing, if you're just going to get a phone case, if you're just going to get one sticker, if you're just going to get one shirt, the best deal of all is happening this week. You get free shipping. That's right. Free shipping save you like $8. So on like a small order, like one shirt, that's like practically 50% right there. So go ahead and get down to shop.spreadshirt.com/OW Tranquility, !store in the chat. I'm going to type it right now just for you guys, because I know you're lazy. Store in the chat will take you to that place. You can get that, get anything you want, Tranquility related, all sorts of good stuff, bandanas and masks, you name it, it's in there. Save yourself free shipping this week.
Shop.spreadshirt.com/OW Tranquility. All right, let's go ahead and get into it now. Crunch time, guys. So basically, the point of this segment is that we will have basically a little discussion here about some of the teams that aren't doing too hot. We have teams that are 0-3, 1-2. For them, it's time to get the act together, and it's us talking about who we think, which teams are going to get their act together, who are in these lower levels right now in the tournament, who haven't really had that moment where they've thrived, they put that winning record forward or won a lot of matches. So, Thug, we're going to start in the Harmony tier. What's the team that you're going with?
The team I picked, there's a lot that can fit this criteria. A lot of teams that maybe like underperform early. Team I picked out was a team that is very well known, has a really high pedigree within the Tranquility community, and that's Modify. Modify sitting there at 1-2. They had a really good start, 4-0 in turbo throwers, and then they ran into a wall. And that wall was Palm Beach Poggers and Jetpack Cats. So they had a rough couple weeks there, a couple top 5 teams within the entire Tranquility or through the entire Harmony tier, and they get 4-0'd.
Yeah.
That's tough. Whether it's a close 4-0 or not, trademark Iris podcast, they're not fun, man. Losing sucks, and losing 4-0 sucks. You can say, well, we were on control. It was 99-99. We lost 2-1. It's still a 0 in the win column. They have a lot of talent. Instante and Subpolar as a tank duo is absolutely insane. Beans and Hegel, that DPS lineup is vastly underrated. I've played with Beans personally. Hegel did a great job a couple seasons ago as well. And then you get Dev and Denial as the support line, both very, very capable. And the whole team, top to bottom, even with Wit on the team, is very, very capable to make a run here. There are 2 matches coming up here. They have a match against Jersey Boys, and which that's going to be a statement game for them. If they can go into it, Jersey Boys are a team that just ahead of them in the lineup or in the standings. Really good team, a team that usually comes on really strong late. if they can make a good impact win there, they got a match against Hades in the final week of stage 1. They could come out of there with 2 wins, end up at a very respectable 3-2, put them right in the middle of Pool B there. They're solid. They're going to be good to go. So at this point, it's a mental game. Getting 4-0 twice in a row mentally can be draining. So they just got to pull it together, play their game, take this one next match against Jersey Boys, pull that W out, and the team's going to look a lot better.
All right, let's go to we'll go to Thor next. Thor, what team in the Harmony tier you think is going to come up have some good coming up here?
So I had to slip the bias in at least once during the podcast here, but if nobody else picked this team as a potential comeback kid within the Harmony tier, then they'd be kidding themselves. But after a strong win last week, Loki got the win over Boop, I believe it was. It was a barn burner at 3-2. It was actually a really fun series to watch. But they have a tough week coming up this week, or excuse me, they have a tough game coming up this week against Flashbacks. We all know the reputation that Flashbacks have. Even though they lost a map already this season, they're still a team to be reckoned with.
Yep.
I believe they made a cut recently this past week. I'm not sure if it was their off tank or whatever the case may be. But even with that being the case, this is not a team to be taken lightly. So Loki knows that. But after they face the Flashbacks, I believe they have, I'm looking at the standings right now. Give me one hot second. They have. Wait for it.
I can't
wait for it. Phoenix Rising. Okay. So
the
Phoenix
tension
Rising,
is real.
I know.
Yeah.
Another team that's currently 1-2. So if they can finish this stage 2-3 or 3-2, I think that'll be a really good springboard for them going into stage 2 after Community Week. But Loki also made some recent roster changes internally. They had some issues going on. I'm not going to air any dirty laundry because every team has those types of things. But it was taken care of within the team itself. They took care of it and they came out the better for it. And as soon as they made those types of decisions internally, they got their first W. So super, super proud of them. Hoping they can take a map or 2 or maybe even win this week against the Flashbacks. I'm not going to kid anybody. That would be a huge upset, but I believe. But at the end of the day, I do believe that Loki stands a really good chance at getting a little bit ahead of steam going to stage 2 here.
All right, NPC, who's your Harmony tier of choice?
No bias or anything, but I gotta go F972. just saying. No.
Son, you're such a shithead.
I gotta go F972 for real. I know that they've had similar roster transactions issues. Just kind of like what Thor was saying. It's kind of behind the scenes stuff. Every team's got that. But they brought on some new people. They brought on Rose on support. They brought on Chicken Blast on tank. So they've got a new tank partner for Mr. Willis. It's fantastic main tank. His monkey go hard. I'm saying. And then you got Stellatha, you got Saki, and now you got Rose there on support, rounding out that 3 support, so they can kind of rotate those supports as the meta and the maps to dictate. And then we got Barbecue on DPS and Mr. Amazing on DPS. And if they can keep their core together and they can push forward, I feel like they've got a really good stage 2. Stage 1 is going to be really tough for them because not only they have the Luminous Foxes coming up this week, but then they got the Big Bang Buccaneers after that. Now the Big Bang Buccaneers, okay, they're kind of weak sauce. Okay, they could take them, but the rest of the stage is going to be tough for those guys. But that's going to put them into a lower bracket. That's going to be not necessarily easy mode, but it's going to put them at an advantage of all the other teams that are down there. So I feel like definitely for F972. It's crunch time, guys.
All right, Beth, what do you got in the Harmony tier?
All right, in the Harmony tier, I have the fire-breathing rubber duckies. For the name alone, got to give these guys props, but otherwise, they have drawn a massive short straw in their first group stage. They had a tough week 1 feature against Koala Kings, which is a solid front-runner team. but they played solidly in that match. They've continued to improve ever since. I have no doubt that they're going to keep kind of on the up and up as things go by. Going to give a specific shout out to a support player on the team, Honey. Played against her in the past. She is one of the most elusive supports I have ever played against. Absolutely solid, fantastic player. Keep an eye out for Bombaclat, who I believe is their main tank as well. Also a really solid player, really good. Definitely showed up in that game against Koala Kings, and I have no doubt that they'll be able to continue improving. They're going to have a tough go of it this week. I don't know how this game against Sky Guardians is going to go. I hope that they can pull out what would be a pretty solid upset and take them down, or even take a couple of maps off of them. But honestly, they've got a tough road going ahead. I think that by the time stage 2 rolls around, this team will really be gelling better and kind of working together more. They have Night Knight as a coach who has been in the community for, I think, a few seasons by now, and is a really strong player. And I'm sure he's making a good influence on that team and helping them to sort of gel. But with that good coaching and with their strong player base, I could see this team pulling together in stage 2 and maybe even making a good run into the playoffs.
All right, my team of choice here in Harmony tier, I got to give it a shout out here. Absolutely no bias, but I'm going Fighting Potatoes. The reason is because I coached them in the off season. And yeah. Anyways, let's go on then. No, I do think that team's going to rally. If you look at their losses they've had so far, close losses up against up against Big Bang Buccaneers and against F972. A win over Luminous Foxes, albeit a handicapped Luminous Foxes. You got to give a shout out to them. And I see you all in chat saying, "Oh, no bias, no bias." What do you want me to say? Vanguard? They're 2-1 or 3-0. I can't say them. What do you want me to say? Fenrir? They're in Discord tier. What do you want me to say? Palm Beach Poggers? You're 3-0. Like, I'll fillet you later in the podcast, guys. Like right now, I'm enjoying myself some taters. So.
Please don't, Yeti. Please don't do that.
Anyways,
yeah, no.
TOS.
Let's
Wow.
Let's
Mark
move on.
TOS in chat.
Let's move on.
Get the
All right.
After Dark podcast later.
Yo, guys, let's get into this next thing here. I
Subscribe
want to
to our
keep things moving along here. And you know what? I said to the guys at the beginning of this podcast, we got a little bit of a shorter lineup today, so we're going to go ahead and bring back a favorite segment of mine and a least favorite segment of my fellow analysts. That is Flashbangs. That's right.
God
Flashbangs is coming back.
Whoa, save that for your
didn't prep
OnlyFans
for
too,
this.
okay? Wow.
We have Flashbangs back here, guys. Flashbangs is the segment that I didn't tell the analysts about, but they get to have fun, be put on the spot, and make a statement right now. Basically, I'm asking them to put their reputation on the line and see how much they actually know. So here we go. So Flashbangs today is going to be put in the style of emote control from the Overwatch League. You will give a one of 4 emotes here, and you guys are all familiar with those in the chat. Obviously, you have PogChamp, of course. You have Resident Sleeper, of course. You have LOL, of course. And you have Seems Good, which is basically your, all right, whatever. Let's go ahead and we're basically what I'm asking you guys to do is I'm going to give you the name of a team, and you're going to give me an emote. What are those 4 things? I'm not looking for an explanation, but basically how you feel that team is doing. Are they, you can base it on, are they overrated? Are they underrated? Do they talk too much? This is your chance. Get a little honest. And chat, I want to see you putting those emotes in chat when I call up these teams too, because I want to see what you guys have to say about these guys as well. So we're going to go around the circle one by one. This is going to be a quick rapid fire segment, and we'll start it off with, and it's going to be just one analyst per team. So, Thug, we'll start with you. Miami Yikes.
PogChamp.
Thor, Big Bang Buccaneers.
Oh my God, Craigasm.
That wasn't an option. That wasn't an option, but I am down. All right. NPC, Vanguard.
Resident Sleeper.
All right. Jetpack Cats, Beth.
Seems good.
Thug, back to you. The Jersey Boys.
Sleeper. Resident Sleeper.
Spicy.
I did that last season on Hot Mic. Anyways.
And it worked out.
Yeah, and it worked out great for me. Thor, Palm Beach Poggers.
PogChamp. Gotta be.
NPC flashbacks.
Lol.
You saying what we're all
Omega
thinking.
lol.
Yeah, that's an Omega lol right there.
Yeah.
Let's go. Beth, wrap us up here on Harmony with the Koala Kings.
PogChamp.
All right. Let's go to Discord tier now. Thug, how about the SEAL Team Spuds?
Who mega lol?
Weird. Thug's feet just cut out. I don't know what happened there. Anyways, Thor, go ahead with Reckless Sigma.
I gotta go Resident Sleeper here. They haven't done anything for me to justify anything else.
NPC Flying Lions.
Seems good.
Oh, the cat dad gives him a C's good.
No, I'm giving it seems good. They had a small win, but we'll see how it goes.
I just see Tom Joe Jingle just repeatedly typing Resident Sleeper. Jeez. Anyways, let's go next. Beth, let's go back to the marsupial org for you. Quokka Queens.
Oh, PogChamp. Easy.
Thug, back to you. Excalibur.
Seems good.
Thor, who do you got? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I don't know. Who do I have?
I don't know. Who do you have? Sorry. The pickle soda is going right to my head. Anyways, no, sorry. You have. You know, I'm gonna switch the order because this team. I'm gonna go with Echo Fleet. Echo Fleet for you.
Oof. I have to go PogChamp just because of their current record, but I will also say they haven't really beaten anybody worth bragging about yet. So they play Paradise Lost this week, so I'm interested to see the outcome of that game.
Paradise Lice next week. That's gonna be
You
big.
got it.
NPC Fenrir.
Fenrir, seems good. Like, I feel like they could do okay, but
Right. Beth, wrap us up in the Discord tier. Paradise Liced. Paradise Lost.
Paradox Liced.
Yes.
I'm
yes.
gonna give
Paradox
Paradox
Lice.
Liced.
Please
a
no lice.
PogChamp.
Please no lice.
PogChamp for Paradise Lost. Take it to the Transcendence tier now. Thug, you got dirt.
That's a PogChamp.
We do like dirt here
We
on the
do
Iris
like
podcast.
dirt.
Thor, you have the Devil Dukes.
No, PogChamp, easy. I'm surprised they weren't in the top 8 last week.
NPC, let's go to you for the Plat Laws.
Omega lol.
Is that just because
You're really giving that to me?
Yeah, the fuel guy.
To me,
Yeah.
of all people.
Yeah. Man, if only you. If it's a shame that you're not like an
If
ambassador
if only,
for.
yeah. If only I wasn't so biased.
All right, Celestial Wind, Beth.
Oh, PogChamp.
All right, yeah. Thug, the Cuttlefish, SS Cuttlefish.
PogChamp.
That
my new
logo,
favorite team.
the logo is
My new favorite
adorable.
team.
The logo is
Logo.
adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Logo's adorable. It's almost as good as this logo, Thug. I'm just saying. I wore it for you tonight, just so you know.
I know. I appreciate you so much.
Anyways, Reckless Shockwave, Thor.
PogChamp.
I
Sure.
like it. I like it. NPC Decapitators. You're wearing their shirt.
Let's go, PogChamp.
I like it. No bias
Crunch
here.
time,
It's crunch
taters.
time. It's crunch time. All right. And last but not least, Beth with Bird Society Ibis.
Seems good.
A fair thing. All right. Now that I've put you all on the spot and probably enraged half the community, thank you so much for flashbangs, everybody. Let's get into the Discord tier now for back to crunch time. By the way, flashbangs is a segment that the analysts thoroughly hate, which is why I brought it back today.
I give that.
I can
segment,
actually
Resident
see the
Sleeper.
rage flowing through everybody right now. So it's
God, I hated.
I'm a
friggin'
Type A preparing person, Yeti.
I used to do flashbangs every podcast back in
Yeah, we
season
know.
5, and yeah, they loved it.
Thug struggles in improv class.
I made
so
it.
let's move on.
I made it simple. I gave you 4 options. You know, it's not like I was asking for reasoning or anything. Like that.
Yeah, I didn't even know what like an emote was. Like I had to research it, like as you were trying to explain.
You're
it,
in a
so.
band of boomers here. I don't think you're gonna really. Nobody's gonna feel any pity for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my wife makes fun of me all the time for the fact that I've unironically said PogChamp in real life.
That's what wives are good at.
That's true.
Just don't stay in the bedroom. That'd be
That was
weird.
not very cash money of you.
Yeah, it was not.
Hello, fellow kids.
All right, let's go to the Discord tier, guys. Let's start off with Thug. Who's your team starting off kind of weak? Who's you're expected to pick back up?
Team I picked is a team I used to give a lot of shit to, and then I claimed control of their ascension. It's Holy Jalapenos. Holy Jalapenos have had a really interesting start to the season. Beth can probably attest to this. Her and I've had several conversations about it. Attendance, man, attendance is a tough one, and getting people there and getting consistency. It's really hard to do anything in Overwatch with inconsistency. Not the same people there all the time, and that's what I feel like is holding Holy Jalapenos back. Their first match of the season was an absolute nail biter. Just squeaked out a forfeit victory against Alt F4. Just squeaked it out. And then they ran into Echo Fleet, which I think is probably one of the top teams in Discord tier in general. They're very, very solid. And then looked much more respectable against Mark III going into week 3. So they have, again, towards the end of the season here, the next match, I think, is against, Freya?
Mm-hmm.
Who is Alt F4ing this stage 1 and not winning a map yet. So it seems to be an easier setup there going into Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost is going to be the wild card. I put Holy Jalapenos and Paradise Lost in the same bracket in that sense. It's teams that have a ton of talent. They're vying for probably that middle tier in going into stage 2. But again, there's a lot of pedigree on this team. There's a lot of talent on the team that has existed. It's a lot of the same team that was there for the Habaneros season championship. 2 seasons ago? Season 5?
So.
Yeah, season 5. It's a team that likes each other and gets along, and so they can kind of push through these tough losses, even though they really want to win. But I see this Freya match coming up as going to be a good turning point for them. It's going to be a one that I expect them to win. And if they do that, they're going to have a little bit more momentum. And talking to Beth, it sounds like people are going to show up, which is a good thing. And you can have
unfortunately, putting that on main tank now, so it's GG's go next. But no.
main tanks are hard to come by.
Yes, sir. So we'll see how that goes. I see Jalapenos doing much better towards the end of stage 1. Those are my words.
I'm watching Twitch chat and I'm blown away by you guys sometimes. Anyways, Thor, who do you got in Discord tier?
So there were a lot of different teams that I were like tossing in my head as to who I actually want to talk about here. But I think one really stood above the rest, and that's Inferno Foxes. With them kind of getting crushed, but I wouldn't say crushed, but they lost a 3-1 against Quokka Queens week 1. And then they went and faced, I believe it was Reminiscence in week 2. So 2 really, really, really tough games in a row. But then come out next week and take care of business against Maelstrom. And they have another winnable game this week. So they also made some interesting roster transactions, some big pickups. I'll give a shout out to Bernie, Flex Support. So just really, really, and plus another stable organization with solid infrastructure. They make sure that they give their players the resources that they need in order to succeed. So I'm really looking for Inferno Foxes to finish out the rest of this stage with 2 more victories and then head into stage 2 at a 3-2 record.
All right, NPC, who do you got coming out of Discord?
You know what? It's crunch time for my boys on Maelstrom. Triage, Crispy, Iconic, Mountainfall, Shadow Fear, Mudkip, Sharp, Wild Arms. They've added a couple of people to this roster, but it's basically the same old Maelstrom boys you know and love. And they've done this before, right? They were Harmony tier, and then they were Discord tier, and then they were Harmony tier, and then they were Discord tier. So they've always kind of been at the top of Harmony tier and at the bottom of Discord tier. And again, it was just a situation where they got put in an interesting pool. Because this week they got Quokka Queens, and then next week it's Reminiscence. So UGGs go next, okay, in stage 1. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I love you at all, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be an uphill battle, but that puts you in a better position. I mean, I'm not saying sandbagging. I'm just saying it puts you in a better position for stage 2. And, then they make a comeback. I mean, they use this time to practice and play, and it'll just make them that much stronger when stage 2 comes around. So then they get a few wins, they make the playoffs, maybe they win a wild card match, play in something like that. I think they could do it. I think they could do it. Maelstrom. I'm a Maelstrom fanboy from day one. So
Beth, who do you got here?
So I picked Wildfire for this one. They played Chicago Chaos in their first week and looked pretty strong, but unfortunately, luck of the draw, next played Excalibur and Lotus, who are the 2 strongest teams in their division. But none of these games have necessarily been rolls. They took a map off of Excalibur in spite of being down 2 players that week. Lotus, they did get 4-0'd by, but I was watching the stream back and it looked like it was a pretty close fought match through most of it. It wasn't really a steamroll for most of the game. I watched Gliscor's streams. I think that's how you say Gliscor, to check him out. I don't think he's on the streamer bot, but he's a lot of fun to watch on support, and it seems like he's really strong. His healing output's bonkers. I'm going to keep an eye on him to try to carry this team forward moving into the next stage. They have a game against Fenrir this week, which I think is going to be their chance to really prove themselves in this group stage. And I think that they can do it. I just think they need a little bit more coordination. They have a strong chance of being contenders moving into the next stage.
Yeah, Fenrir is an easy win. So
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
All right.
I didn't say that.
Team I'm going with is Chicago Chaos. They're 0-3 right now. Tough start. But they put up a good showing against I see chat. I talked about Fenrir in a negative way, and all of a sudden, whoa.
I'm just glad they're watching.
Yeah. Anyways,
Get back to scrim,
I'm gonna go with
guys.
Chicago Chaos. They put up a good fight up against Excalibur. I need to see more. I need to see some consistency. We haven't seen any consistency yet from that team, but there's potential. I think they showed potential. They almost stole that one, and I would like to see maybe a little bit more from Chicago Chaos moving forward. But I think that team has a lot of potential to do just that. So, all right, let's get to the comms check, guys. Comms check this week is from Bowsy. So let's get going.
Can I just talk like Scooby? Can I just calm like Scooby-Doo? Right. Right, die. Ruh-roh, bad pin. Ruh-roh, bad pin.
I was just
MC, can I get a Scooby snack?
Slow it down. Calm down. Play to the fundamentals, my friend. The fundamentals.
All about the fundamentals. Got it.
Okay. As Sun Tzu once said,
Oh god.
listen to Poach or sleep with Roach. Good luck with that.
Okay, so are we gonna do it?
Yes.
Yeah, we're doing your mom.
That was a interesting thing to walk in.
Okay.
I walked into the most awkward thing.
Yes.
I can make it worse if you want.
You smack me, I'm nervous.
I don't know. And if I smack my desk, does it count as smacking you?
Fervor.
No,
Fervor.
just
Fix
smack
him.
It's fine.
Fervor. Fix him.
That wasn't very. Wow,
Fix him.
that was my tummy. That doesn't help.
Hold on. Did you just call it a tummy?
Yes. What do you call it?
Okay. A stomach, like an actual fully grown adult with descended and everything.
Yeti.
No, it's a tummy Yeti.
Jesus.
It's a tummy when you're feeling bad, stomach when it feels okay.
Goddamn youths.
Wanna play Mercy?
I want to play Mercy. Is that even a question?
What?
Well, you can't.
Is the rudest
You would have to go Ana.
Wow.
You would have to go Ana if anything.
I'm sorry, Tata.
Wow.
Hurry, take it, hurry.
No, back, Eddie. Go in.
Get more.
Get it.
Big.
Get it.
Come here.
Eyes
Get this right.
Jesus,
He's
walking.
tonight.
Maydead.
Nice.
Kill some
Get
Sims
some
first.
Sim dead.
That's the line.
Ping into room.
Oh, hi.
I can't be meeting you here.
My favorite Among Us.
I like the
hamburger one.
Oh,
I
my
like
Listen. My favorite.
like-
My favorite thing is venting. You know, it's a good. It's a good.
Oh, you sus for that one.
Are you the imposter?
Among Us sauce?
Yeah, see? Okay, I didn't even finish my sentence. All you guys...
Latino meme.
Honestly, the only good thing I've ever learned from
What is the
Super.
T? What's the T in that?
Anti.
Oh my god.
And then May is Maine.
What?
So,
What?
Or it would be like Vano Boo T Maine. Or.
Rondo Booty.
No, Vano.
Help your run, help your run, help your run.
I can't. Oh, you're running from me.
I would say fatty shatty, but in that voice.
Fatty Shatty! Fatty Shatty
This should be our only comms.
This is just our hardcore comms check right now.
What if we all sang it?
True. Oh.
Yeah, it's true. That's actual comms. I'm gonna get the lyrics though.
Weekend is core muscles. Like, you ever seen the movie? Have you seen Wall-E?
What?
Like, those people were floating in their chairs and they turned
Because
into,
they were
like,
sitting though.
they were
They were
sitting
sitting
in
in chairs.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you, Bowsy, for that fantastic comms check. Make sure you guys submit those comms checks this week here, y'all. By the way, coordinated comms checks do not guarantee that you will get on the comms check. And
I thought you just had to say, that's a comms check.
Yeah, if you just say that's a comms check, then it'll probably get on. But most of you just aren't funny when you do that. So I mean that with every bit of my heart. Most of you aren't very funny when you do. But me, I'm hilarious. Anyways, let's get to the transcendence here for crunch time, y'all. Let's start with Thug. Who you got?
Transcendence here. I didn't want to pick this team. I'll be honest with you. I did it anyway. So I'm looking at it, and I feel like just a disappointed dad looking at this team, and it's whirlwind, tip of the tongue.
You good?
Whirlwind Wildcats.
Nice.
Thank you. Yeah, this is a strange team because the reason they could do really well is I don't know how to say this nicely. Stop with the damn drama, man. Just don't. You don't have to be drama. Like, you just don't. No one likes it. It's not fun. It's not fun for anybody. Like, oh, cool, we'll go to Twitter. Yay. I'm super mad. And it's boring. You're boring, everybody. Just don't be boring. Literally and figuratively.
Damn.
Wow.
Battalion in
Resident
shambles.
Sleeper.
But and like I said, there's a lot of talent on the team. I look at two players that stick out in my mind. Laz, as a DPS player, I've always been really impressed with Laz and his ability as a Overwatch player, and his ability just to be chill, which is why I'm like, dude, come on, like, you guys can get this. You're so close. You're almost there. And a player like Jet, I think Jet is playing definitely above their rank, essentially. Jets being one of the lowest members on the team. The team in general has pretty low SR for being trans tier, so they have some room to go up. But I think Jets doing a really good job. They're holding their own for sure. And I've played with them, and I know their capabilities, and I know people. They've been around for a long time in the community, and they have a lot of ability. So I think Whirlwind Wildcats can stick this thing out. They have a match against Atlas Arcadia coming up next week. It's winnable. Just gotta focus on doing your own thing and stay off the drama train, homie.
All right, Thor, who do you got?
So I think that the easy pick here definitely would have been Amnesia, but let's be real with ourselves. Nobody wants to hear about Amnesia. Sorry, Cap.
No.
So I picked Council of Anime Girls, a team that the community, that's relatively new to the community. And in the first week, they lost 3-1 versus Amnesia. So Amnesia got the better of them, but then they take care of business week 2 against the new team Hell Tundra, and then they have a barn burner versus Dirt last week and just end up losing that one out against Dirt 3-2. So I'm seeing a lot of promising things from this team, Council of Anime Girls. That, and I have to shout them out, just I'm obligated to, because everybody in my server just loves their, like, half of my server is just weebs, so they can't get enough of their logo. So for obligatory reasons, I have to shout out Council of Anime Girls. But given the division that they're in and the fact that Amnesia's been struggling a little bit due to like some roster issues, yeah, they have Dirt and Devil Dukes in the same pool, but given the games that they've had against Dirt, they do have Devil Dukes coming up. It's going to be a tough game for them, but if they can get out of this 2-3 or 3-2, I think they stand a really good chance at getting their feet, or getting on top of their feet going into stage 2.
All right, and NPC, who do you got in trans tier?
In trans tier, I took the opposite of Thug's pick. I went against him here because I went with Atlas Arcadia. Coming up this week, Whirlwind Wildcats. Atlas Arcadia right now sitting at 1-2, but when you look at their map differential, it's like 5 and 9. They're at -4. It's it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not as bad as it could be. It's not like they're 4-0 blowouts. They're actually holding their own. They're just losing. So I feel like they got a winnable game this week against the Wildcats. Unless the Wildcats can somehow, like Doug said, just kind of get off the drama and the infighting and get over their egos, and just focus on the fundamentals of the game. Atlas Arcadia could definitely take this. And then after that, they got Ragnarok Odin, which are right there with them. Odin just happened to be 2-1. Also kind of a struggling team a little bit sometimes. Although they do have OC in there with those Dallas Fuel skins that gives them the edge. But Atlas Arcadia, they can get in there and they can equip some Dallas Fuel skins of their own and make that win happen. So I feel like they have two winnable matches coming up, and I feel like they do all right.
All right,
they do all right.
Beth, go ahead. Who's your trans tier crunch time team?
All right, my trans tier crunch time team that I think has a good chance of coming back from 1-2 or 0-3 loss. Just to clear that up, that's what we're talking about.
Yep. Chad is up in arms. What's talking about my team? We haven't lost a game yet.
That's a spicy water take right
We're
there.
so good, and I'm just kind of like, we know, but just not what we're talking about.
We're the best underdogs there is.
You can always count on Beth.
I just want to be like, sir, this is a Wendy's. Like, you need to relax. All right. Anyways, go ahead, Beth.
So my pick is Corvidity, and I thought this was a pretty easy pick. So this is a team full of really well-known and really strong players. They've been in the community for, I think, couple of seasons at this point. They had almost no turnover compared to their team last season. So this team has really had a good chance to like build and grow together. And I think that they're gonna do it this season. They're gonna pull together. But the players that they have on their team, lots of big names in the community with Demonic Rain, Sorcery Pepe, Triscosity, Con/Hades, Legs. Like, these are all really strong players from previous seasons. And unfortunately, none of them have Twitch VODs from the season up, so I couldn't give you more details. But I would say to keep an eye on Sorcery Pepe. Flex support for the team, was an all-star in a previous season, and I expect them to play a huge role as they move forward. And additionally, Corvidity's in a really strong group, like Dirt, Devil Dukes, both very strong teams. They put up a strong showing against both and just happened to take the L. This week, they played Howl and showed their caliber against this team. I think they won it 4-0, if I remember correctly. And I think that with playing Council of Anime Girls this week, they have another really good chance of showing their stuff. And I think that this is not going to be a team to sleep on as we move forward.
All right, my trans tier team, I'm going Battalion. I think Battalion is just getting better. They're adding good pieces onto that team. Tough start for them, but they are rallying. They had a nice win this past week here. I look at Battalion and I see a lot of potential. I think Telm is a kind of a stabilizing force for that team. And can really help rally that team moving forward. Obviously, you have Lynn Frosty as well. Fantastic DPS player. We saw them in the highlight montage. They can really put a team on their back at times too. So I look at Battalion. I think they're a team, a rough start, some roster changes, some roster shuffling, but they're starting to figure it out. And I think it shows. And I think you're going to start to see Battalion look a lot better here. Let's move on then, guys. We got again, we're talking about some matches to watch here. We got some announcements, and we got our drawing, by the way, which result by the way, entries for this week's drawing are closed. Any entries will go into next week's drawing now. So if you're gonna put any entries in, they'll be for next week's drawings. Let's go ahead and start with the matches to watch this week. Thug, what match are you in particular paying attention to?
I am watching Devil Dukes versus Dirt. 2 3-0 teams. This is basically who's going to go to Pool A after this. It's going to be a hell of a match, and I have Dirt winning this one 3-2.
I like Dirt.
I do like Dirt.
We like Dirt.
I do like Dirt. Thor, what do you got here?
So I went the Discord tier match, and I talked about this briefly earlier, but I actually picked Echo Fleet versus Paradise Lost. Gotta enunciate. It's important. At least that's what I tell my kids. But so the reason I picked this game is I like picking games that I think are going to be relatively close, and this is going to be a great opportunity for Echo Fleet to prove that they belong at the top of this pool, because as of yet, they have yet to face a team with a winning record. Correct. So Paradise Lost being 2-1, and they're very close to being 3-0, because I believe the only match that they lost was a 3-2 in a map 5 against Mark 3 or Mark 2 or Mark 4 or whatever. So really, really interested to see who comes out on top of this one, because this could potentially really, really shake up the Indigo pool in Discord tier.
All right. NPC, what's your match to watch?
You know, my favorite maps to watch are feature matches, and there's a big one tomorrow night right here on twitch.tv/OW Tranquility. The Fighting Potatoes versus Miami Yikes tomorrow night. It's going to be pretty awesome, because I feel like I said before, this is the year of the potato. Okay? And right now, we're talking about crunch time. And crunch, cheese and grooves, okay, have a lot of carbs. You know what else has a lot of carbs?
What?
Potatoes.
Oh.
That's true.
Potatoes. So
Hold on.
It needs to say if we're in crunch time, then this is the time of the potato.
Noted. Yep.
Okay.
Noted.
So Miami Yikes, pretty strong team. But after this, they got Miami Yikes, and they got Firefight after that. I think these are winnable. Potatoes came off a big win last week. It was winnable for you guys. Get out there, taters.
Yeah, that all makes sense. Yeah, that all makes sense. It checks out.
Checks out.
All right. Yep. All right. Cool. All right. Cool. Beth, go ahead.
All right. So I'm going to go with the game between Council of Anime Girls and Corvidity. Both Thug and I picked each of these teams as teams that we were excited to see kind of maybe making a comeback in this stage. And I feel like this is a good proving ground for both of them. Since I'm in Corvidity's corner, I'm going to give it to them 3-1. But I think that this is going to be a really close match and a really fun one to watch if anybody on the team streams, which I haven't been able to find anybody. But check it out.
You just have to stalk harder, Beth.
I tried.
Wow.
People need to get their streams in the streamer bot. It makes my job so much easier.
Yeah, you can
help
DM
us,
Mr. Yeti about that.
Help us help you. Help us help you.
Exactly.
DM Mr. Yeti and say, yo, I want to get in the streamer bot. Send his link.
My match to
team footage.
My match to watch right now. I'm watching really closely. It's 2 1-2 teams, but I think this one you're going to see the team that isn't going to be, or the loser of this match is more than likely facing the elimination pool going into stage 2, just based on where their group is going. It's Mechanized, it's Inferno Foxes, 2 teams, 2 established orgs trying to find a way to scrounge together a bit of a win here. Tough, because Inferno Foxes has shown them some improvement. They made some roster changes. They're looking a lot better right now. Mechanized, need to see some more from them. We haven't seen that firepower that a lot of us expected to see from them going into this season. So we need to see a little bit more from Mechanized. I think right now, if I'm picking a winner, I'm picking Inferno Foxes 3-1, but I don't think you can count on Mechanized in this matchup whatsoever. But Inferno, I mean, whoever wins this one, I think they solidified themselves very firmly into that B group going into next stage. The loser, sorry, it looks like you're facing elimination going into stage 2. So best of luck to you on that. All right, guys, got a few announcements before we get going. First of all, let's hype up that schedule going in further on this week. Tonight, after this show, we have Predicting Tranquility, where we predict every single match to come this week in the Tranquility community. Starting, this one's going to have Booth, OC, and Apathy, so be sure to tune in to catch that one as well. In addition to that, tomorrow we bring you the Fighting Potatoes versus Miami Yikes at 8:30. Immediately following that, we have Coach's Corner with Juggle God, with Sage Jitsu, Muffins, Danui. There's a million names that I've seen here listed, so I'm just going to go with all of them. But they're from the Vanguard Esports org. They're reviewing Squall versus Sky Guardians with Bubba Wyatt from the Sky Guardians and Toasty from Squall. So be sure to check that one out. Should be a great program as well. Wednesday, we have the Transcendence Tier feature match, and that is Alpha taking on NYAA. Thursday, we have a feature match as well. That is the Discord feature between Reminiscence and Flying Lions, again at 8:30 Eastern. Should be a great match as well. And then after that, we have the Beat Drop returning this week. It's going to be airing on Thursday. It's going to have Captain Jack and Gizmo. They'll be interviewing Glitch and Asdo from Reminiscence and Nikki from Vanguard as well. So should be a great beat drop this week as well. Last but certainly not least, it's time to start talking a little bit more about Event Week. Now, we do have a sign-up sheet that did already go out to team leadership as well, but Event Week is right around the corner, y'all. You're not going to want to miss anything from this coming season's Event Week. It's going to be a fantastic one indeed. Taking a look, you have obviously the Widow 1v1. You have the Torbjorn Hammer Brawl. You have the On a Paintball. You also have the 2v2 elimination. And last but certainly not least, Admin Pugs on Friday. There's one thing I didn't mention, and that's on Monday. That is the Content Creation Team's 1v1 challenges. Guys, here's the deal. If you've never been here before, basically this is what's going to happen. We are going to open up our Tiltify for donations. Not right now, but going into next week's matches starting on Monday, we will launch that Tiltify. One of the things you can buy on there is a 1v1 challenge with one of the members from the Content Creation Team. That could be any one of the 5 of us here. It could be, oh my God, we got subs rolling in from Thug.
It is September, ladies and gentlemen. You can gift subs to this channel for 20% off. Just saying, it's like buy 4 subs, you get a 5th one for free. 20%. If you know how much I love 20% off, I'm giving this to you guys. My gift to you, September.
I love any
You can
percent
support
off.
your favorite content creators and OW Tranquility subscribing 20% off.
But back to Content Creation Team 1v1s, y'all. 1v1s are like this. Basically, you're going to challenge one of us. It could be any one of the 5 of us here. It could be, maybe you have a thing against Capital, like most of us do. You could challenge Capital.
Yeah. True, that's
maybe,
true. Everyone
maybe,
that's why we put him on the content creation.
Exactly. Maybe
we don't want to hear what he has to say. We just want a 1v1 later.
Yeah, maybe you really had it in for Captain Jack. Maybe he made a bad call in one of your casts, and you want to take it out on him in a Junkrat 1v1 or something. There's your opportunity to do it. You know, I gotta say it's a great opportunity to challenge any one of us. It could be any of us here. It could be Booth. It could be Thormea. It could be OC.
Juggle God.
It could be Juggle God.
Anybody from Predicting Tranquility, Coach's Corner, Beat Drop, Artemis plays on console. Get that crossplay going. You name it.
And so it's one of the incentives that you can get for donating for Event Week. You'll challenge one of us. These will be streamed on this stream, these 1v1s. You pick the hero, we just show up. So honestly, usually we just roll you idiots, but maybe you guys can put up a good showing this season.
It's for the kids.
It's debatable.
Well, you know,
so
I'm gonna let it make it competitive.
Anyways, oh yeah, you could take on Navino. If you really think Navino's stinky, you could try to show it to him in a 1v1, you know?
True. He is stinky though.
He is stinky.
True.
He is stinky.
Confirmed.
Yeah, can confirm. Stinky. But in all seriousness, guys, it's a great opportunity, a great way to help contribute towards Rise Above the Disorder. We're going to have so much about Event Week coming up in the next 2 weeks, so I'm not going to talk your ear off about everything on that, but we have some fantastic incentives, guys.
I want to bring up an incentive.
Okay.
I want to bring up one incentive, and I'll give you an example. I'm going to have an incentive where I will roast your team on the podcast.
Oh, really? Did you
What does that even mean?
Yeah, I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you an example of this roast, okay? Very creative roast, too, okay? Something like this. Alt F4, I bought you guys some Powerball tickets. Okay, you guys need these. It says here the odds of winning is 292 million to 1, which is better odds than winning a map this season.
It's funny because it's true.
There you go. So
I will tie you to a railroad track, sir.
For the kids. It's for the kids. It's for charity.
It's for charity, guys. So don't be mean to him. He's just talking about.
It's for the kids. Yeah.
All right. Guys, awesome stuff coming up for event week. We hope you guys contribute in this because again, we raised $10,000 last season for Rise Above the Disorder. Obviously, this season, a lot of us were falling back on that. Maybe that we did get a little kickback from the government. Some of us who maybe didn't need it as much, which definitely helped for a lot of people's larger donations. But $5,000 is what we're shooting for this season, guys. Any bit counts. If you can contribute, we appreciate it. And we have incentives for you guys for doing it. We have goals that we're trying to reach. If you want to see me eat the death nut on the podcast, which is something that's covered in $13 million Scoville capsaicin crystals, watch me die on the podcast.
Yep.
All right. Anyways, guys, we're enough about event week. We're really going on too far here. Hyped up all the programs. Let's get to the drawing. NPC, who's winning that Tranquility shirt today?
Tranquility shirt. The winner is random number generator, please. Decrypt, by the way.
Oh,
congrats, Decrypt from the Ragnarok org. Congratulations. You win a free shirt from the Tranquility store. Cavalier will be in contact with you relatively soon, I would imagine. So, all right, guys, tune in this week. Rack up those channel points. We got awesome giveaways coming up for you here in the near future. You do not want to miss any of the surprises Tranquility has to offer coming up here in week 4. But for Thug, Thor, NPC, and BethCon, I'm Mr. Yeti. Thank you for gazing into the iris with us tonight, and we will see you guys soon. Have a great night.